What is up, fragrance family out there on YouTube? Thanks for joining me here on my channel again, Steven Sturgill. I thought I'd do a follow-up video, guys. My earlier go live video out of my car using my phone just didn't come out that good. And I wore this scent for the rest of the work night, and I thought I would make some comment, talk a little bit more about the frag. So this is Original Penguin by Munsingwear. You can see the bottle detail a lot better here on this camera. Pretty gorgeous bottle. It is a cheapie. Don't expect this to quite hold up under scrutiny. Even the cap base rotates, so it's not, and this part moves up and down just a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that. So definitely very cheap construction, but it looks good. You've got the gold embossed, or whatever you call it, and inset penguin coloration at the top of the bottle. Ooh, pretty heavy cap, even though the insert is all plastic and has the penguin icon. So I just sprayed this on again. I'll do one more blast, two more, or a second one rather. One. So I was looking at the online vlogs and some of the stuff at Fragrantica, base notes, etc. It's curious to me that almost nobody mentions cinnamon as a smell, and I got that right away. I mean, just poof, right away as I smelled it. I said, "Yep, that's cinnamon, or it's a smell like cinnamon." So I did a little research, and if you look at the back of this, one of the ingredients. I'll read the ingredients firstly. You get alcohol denatured, fragrance, parfum, doesn't tell you what that fragrance is, water, ethyl hexyl, methoxycinnamate, methoxycinnamate, butyl methoxydibenzoylmethane, ethyl hexyl salicylate, butyl methoxydibenzoylmethane, benzoyl methane, limonene, coumarin, linalool, citronellol, citral, eugenol, geraniol, or geraniol, however you want to say it, methyl 2-octanoate, benzyl cinnamate, cinnamol, which I believe is hexacinnamol or cinnamol. What's the word? Cinnamolic aldehyde, perhaps, and then benzyl alcohol and farnesol. So you get two potential sources of the cinnamon smell, both from the cinnamate and from the cinnamol. And citronel and linalool give you citral, and I think maybe like musk or floral essences, along with that limonene, which is very citrusy and lemon-like. Okay, so what's curious is that I found out a while ago, if you go on Wikipedia, that, let's see, which one was it? Cinnamaldehyde, which this really may be because it has cinnamol in it, maybe they're just dropping the dehyde because it sounds scarier, is actually what gives cinnamon its cinnamony flavor and odor. And it's a really good natural mosquito repellent. So I'm guessing that if you wear fragrances that have this in it, you're literally going to be scaring away mosquitoes. Assuming this is cinnamaldehyde, it's a really popular fungicide used in mass farming applications. It's also the major flavor component, or one of them, in chewing gum, ice cream, candy, beverages that contain essences of cinnamon or cinnamon-like flavonoids. And it is used in some perfumes of natural, sweet, or fruity scents. Almond, apricot, butterscotch, and other aromas may partially employ the compound for their pleasant smells. Often used as a food adulterant. And it says, I did not know this, get this, powdered beech nut husk aromatized with cinnamaldehyde can legally be marketed as powdered cinnamon. That is crazy. I mean, I'm sure it's fine to eat, it's fine to wear, fine to smell, but frankly, guys, I don't want to be buying freaking powdered fake cinnamon knockoff crap that's marketed as cinnamon, but isn't cinnamon, but smells and looks just like cinnamon. That's ridiculous. Good God Almighty. It's sorry for my mini rant. That's just scary and weird. And if I want to buy cinnamon, I want real cinnamon. Don't give me beech nut husk aromatized with cinnamaldehyde. And in fact, it's also used in some breakfast cereals, containing, it says, 187 parts per million cinnamaldehyde. So is it safe? I guess so. I don't know. A little weird. It's also used as a corrosion inhibitor for steel and other ferrous alloys and corrosive fluids such as hydrochloric acid. It says it believes this is achieved by polymerization to form a protective film on the metal surface and can be used in combination with additional components such as dispersing agents, solvents, and other surfactants. This is really weird. Now, this is getting into science fiction land nearly. It says, and I'm not making this up, you can go to Wikipedia and read it yourself. I'm not making this up. It says, cinnamaldehyde is also a potent inducer of apoptosis via ROS-mediated mitochondrial permeability transition in human promyelocytic leukemia HL60 cells. And some early evidence shows that cinnamaldehyde blocks formation of tau protein aggregation into neurofibrillary tangles, a major pathology in Alzheimer's disease. And it says it also has antimicrobial properties and is also a TRPA1 activator and can excite a subset of sensory neurons that are mainly cold-sensitive neurons to cause nociceptive behavior in mice. I have no idea what nociceptive means. That's way over my pay grade. But it says it's been found to improve metabolic health, acting directly on adipocytes. I think that's something to do with fat cells. I know adipose tissue is fat tissue. I'm pretty sure that has something to do with fat cells. And inducing them to start burning energy through a process called thermogenesis. And it says it actually appears to protect mice against obesity and hyperglycemia. But the mechanisms underlying these effects were not well understood at the time. That is wild. Wow. So, guys, maybe, maybe this is an anti-obesity and possibly somewhat of a road to a cure to Alzheimer's or slowing down the disease. I don't want to get people's hopes up too much, but that's what the text is suggesting here. You can look at it yourself. Anyways, I'm sorry. I mean, I got off way on a tangent. I just thought that was so interesting, learning about some scientific aspects of cinnamaldehyde or cinnamol, I think, as it's more generically known in the frag community. So pretty awesome. And we learned about fake cinnamon and how a lot of the cereals and flavored foodstuffs use this guy as their major, and it's antifungal, and it's a mosquito repellent, and it actually kills. It's in laboratory tests. It's killed 50% of mosquito larvae on application or on spraying them. Pretty wild stuff. All I know is that it smells good, and a lot of people want to this smell like red apple on the opening. I could see what they're talking about. I didn't quite get that, but I could definitely visualize the componentry that they're getting that makes them feel as though they're smelling an apple on the opening. You are getting that red spice, the sugar, a little bit of that fruity, almost like green or yellow fruit meat, along with that peel type. I could see that. I didn't really quite get apple directly in a realistic sense, but I could sort of get the abstract impression of red apple. Definitely got the cinnamon. I definitely get a little musk. Um, I get some other slightly green herbal notes in here, but everything is very, very sort of not cotton candy. I'm using that as a descriptor, but not in terms of the smell of a cotton candy, but just in that sort of lush cotton candy cloud of like brown sugar. Think Christmas, think November, October, December, January, February, whatever you want to think about. And this has a really warm, inviting, just I don't know, Christmassy aspect to it in a weird way, or fall. If you're not religious, I'm not trying to say you have to believe in Christ or whatever, or believe in Christmas, but many of us have different ethnic backgrounds, cultural backgrounds. I'm not. It's just for a lot of people, it's just a holiday. For other people, it's very, very near and dear to their religion and their personal belief system. Anyways, guys, this is really, really good, but I don't necessarily want to overhype it. It's not that complex. I mean, there's a few things going on in here. It's not that simplistic, but it's very linear. It's not going to change a whole heck of a lot on the dry down. I only really got about an hour of push from this. And then I did get a pretty decent scent bubble for another about 2.5 hours. And then it all but dried down to a very light but detectable skin scent. So definitely nowhere near frag mode. For a beast mode. It's not a monster powerhouse type frag, but guys, come on. At $14.99, do you expect it to be? I know I don't, and I think that'd be ridiculous. So really, really worthy addition of your library or your cabinet, your table, your medicine cabinet, wherever you keep your perfumes and fragrances. This is a heck of a buy at $15, and I think it favorably compares to much, much more expensive bottles. Just don't quite think of it though, or expect it to have that high dollar smell. It's not going to smell, like Tower perfume or Hermes. It's not on that level. Don't expect it to be at that level, but I think it really, really could favorably go toe to toe with a lot of the Mont Blancs. I think it could show well against some of the Bentleys and things in that sort of level. If that gives you some kind of barometer to kind of think about kind of the type of smell that this elicits. Very, very decent. More than decent for the money. Ridiculously good for the money. But is it Hermes? No, of course not. Is it the house of Dior? No. Or Chanel? Of course not. But it's really, really very decent for what it is. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just rambling at this point. I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to follow up, talk a little bit more about it, talk about some of those interesting aspects of the cinnamaldehyde or cinnamol. And I'll see you guys next time. Spray often, spray well, and live life on your terms, not someone else's. Love you guys. Peace out. Catch me on the next episode. If you like, please subscribe and hit the bell for future updates. And we'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Adios. Hasta la próxima. A la prochaine fois. Bonsoir.